What's up, guys? It is Aaron with Twins Garage, and today we will be installing the Perrin rear diff subframe lockdown system. So I just received this package and it's pretty nice. It comes with some instructions. They're very detailed. They have a lot of pictures on them. You got your bushings and the lockdown bolts. So without even opening this up, I see there's 6 bushings, 2 large ones, 4 small ones, and our lockdown bolts. Right off the bat, we can see the parts included with this Perrin Subframe Lockdown Kit are 2 differential support beam lockout bushings, 4 differential lockout bushings, 2 M12 by 60mm grade 10.9 bolts, 2 subframe lockout bushings pressed on bolt. And then the instructions go right into showing you a picture of the rear end and where each of the bushings go. That's for the rear end. Those are the 4 smaller bushings. The 2 larger bushings will be going on this, but I don't have mine in yet, so I won't be able to show you that. But in case you have any questions, there's a nice big detailed picture of where they go. You'll have to remove the bolt and they will go up at the very top. I haven't even got into this, but it should be a very simple process as long as you don't have a lot of rust, because the holes for the lockdown bolts are already pre-drilled, pre-threaded. But if you have a ton of rust, like previous Subarus that I've owned, threads are going to be pretty damaged and it could be impossible to even put this in. Same with even the bushings. If they're so rusted that by removing those nuts and bolts and all that, you could possibly cause damage, break nuts and bolts, so just check that out. Thankfully this one's from South Carolina, very low miles, so no rust, so we're good to go there. So I do want to point out, per the instructions, it does say to use WD-40 and a wire brush to clean the threads before installing. If the corrosion is severe, you may need to rethread. So that is another possibility, is rethreading that hole. And it says to tighten to 60 foot-pounds of torque, and that you may hear a popping sound while bolt is being tightened into the car, which is perfectly normal. So before we head into that and installing that, just going to show you guys my new CNT up pipe with the external wastegate. So I also just got my new Grimspeed bracket that will be deleting the OEM internal wastegate. So I got that on the turbo. I'll show you that in a little bit, so let's get started installing these bolts. So I didn't read every single line in the instructions, so I'm not sure if they recommend against using this, but always highly recommend. Anti-seize is amazing. This stuff was like $8 on Amazon, shipped to my door. So here's the bolt. Here's the little thing. I don't know what they really call this, but it will go up into the car just like that. So let's head over there and get started. So it's really hard to get a good angle, but this here is your rear subframe. You got your 2 rear subframe bolts, and right in the middle is a hole, and that's where you want these to go. Sorry for the terrible lighting. This is a 19mm bolt, so make sure you get a 19mm socket. And like I was saying, I always put this on anti-seize. Again, I don't know if it's recommended with this kit. I guess I'll find out. So, make sure you hand thread those up in there as far as you can. So get your torque wrench. Got mine set to 60 foot-pounds. There we go. Got that one. So the driver's side is torqued down. I forgot, I don't think I torqued these when I put my rear subframe on, so I'm going to torque those, and I'm also going to get the other side installed. Okay guys, that was pretty straightforward. I got both of the lockdown bolts on, torqued to 60 foot-pounds. I went and torqued all my rear subframe bolts to, I think it's 106.9 pounds. Then I went back and retorqued the lockdown bolts just to make sure they were still torqued all the way. As for the bushings, I don't have the stuff ready to put these on. Like I said, really good instructions. The picture here of your rear diff, the stabilizer support bolts, that's what the 4 smaller ones go on. So according to the instructions, you'll be installing the 4 red ones on this piece. So you'll put the bushings here and here. So pretty straightforward. since I don't have this in, I can't show you right now. So this will be in there like this, and you will take a bolt out one side at a time and put the bushing right up at top, and then stick it back up in there. If you have any questions, I'm sure Perrin is more than happy to help, and their instructions are really good. So if you're doing this mod, I don't see you needing too much help. You probably already kind of know what you're doing. So next, I want to head up front and get that up pipe installed.
5 minutes later.
So I kind of ran into a slight issue. Pulled out the kit because when I bought the headers, it came with a different up pipe and a kit of gaskets and nuts and bolts, and my up pipe didn't come with anything. So I was going to use the gasket out of there because it's the same, and since the headers are already installed, and I know for a fact because I just went back and watched the footage from when I installed that, that I did not ever upload. I did use gaskets on both sides. For some reason, my kit came with 3 header gaskets and a turbo gasket, but no gasket going from header to up pipe. So that means I'm going to have to order one. So a little bummed out I didn't notice that sooner. That would have been awesome. So I guess that won't be getting installed today, which no big deal. Not super ready for it. I just wanted something else to do one step closer to getting this car finished. So I'm going to head inside, get a new gasket order, try to get that here within the next day or two. I'm going to do some more research because I want to splice into the wiring for the 02 through 04's mirror switch and extend it and run that over to the 05, 06, 07 mirror switch. I'm not quite sure if the color code is the same or exactly the diagram because the plugs are completely different. So that'll be another video, and later on in this video I'm hoping to have the gasket so I can get that out pipe installed. Here is my new turbo. It's fully rebuilt. It only had, I think, the seller told me 2,000 miles when I bought it. He also said it was good, and it was full of metal shavings, and it was toast. So I did get that rebuilt, which is sort of my fault because he was a pretty trustworthy Subaru dealer in my area. He mailed it to me because he has a bit of a drive, and I opened it, saw it was the turbo, threw it on a shelf. A year later, about a month ago, I pulled it out, getting ready to make sure everything was good to go so I can install it, get the external wastegate removed off of it, and put the bracket on. And it was bad. It did so much play, so I had to get that sent out and repaired. So I just got that in. Luckily I'm still under a little bit of a new turbo, but you know, no big deal. You win some, you lose some. I removed the wastegate because I'm running an external wastegate, and I got this bracket from Grim Speed. It's pretty cool. Haven't looked into reviews and how well they perform, but I figured that it's much better than getting this thing welded up. So I will be keeping the internal wastegate on hand just in case I decide to sell it. So I'm going to get this turbo packaged back up just to keep it safe from the elements, and I'm going to head in for the night. I will hopefully come back within the day or two to install the new up pipe. See you guys in a little bit. Okay guys, it's been a few days. Still haven't got the up pipe gasket, but hopefully we'll be getting that in a couple days. Right now, we're going to open up the new brake lines, get those thrown on, but first I got to take these hideous wheels off. They were only on for mock-up purposes. I would never actually run those. They're hideous. My buddy was throwing them away, so I decided to throw them up on the car for mock-up purposes because we were installing the Brembos up front, and I wanted to see if those wheels would fit over them. The new wheels actually should be here tomorrow, so you'll be seeing those in the next video. So let's get these things off. Don't mind my sweet ass slippers. So here I can get you a closer look at what I've got going on under here. Still need to clean it up some. The new STI control arms. We got brand new wheel bearings. So everything's new under there. So the kit I got, they're exactly the same. They're for the front, so it doesn't matter which one you go. This goes on the Brembo. Yeah, some hardware with the banjo bolt, lockdown nuts, all this stuff, yada yada. Kind of hard to see, but you want to put your banjo bolt in with one washer here and one washer on this side. So they're on now, just hand tight, just mock-up purposes, trying to see where they go, and I actually had no idea if they were going to work. The swap that I did using the Cadillac Brembos is not extremely common. Well, it is, but it's actually hard to find a lot of information. So, like, as for the rotors, I had to use 05 STI rotors, and the lines were for a completely different vehicle, if I remember right. So I wasn't even sure if I'd ordered the correct ones, so I just put them on to check to see if they're gonna fit, which looks like they did. So I'm gonna get those routed the way they need to go, get them bolted to the suspension, and then I will do the passenger side. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.